What's good, party people? This is According to Woods, and I have the honor and privilege of talking to my friend, your friend. He is a para athlete, right? Competing in Poland next month, right? For
Uh,
Paragon
uh,
Dragon, right? He is the one, the only, the Professor Charles Wilton. Charles, what's going on, bro?
Amen.
Man, oh man. I mean, we were kind of talking a little bit off air, right? Because, you have been an ardent kind of advocate, right? And spokesperson
Uh,
for, your sport, right? Paraboxing, just combat sports in general. It didn't have to be boxing, right? And, you know, when we started these conversations, and you've been, banging the drum for probably about a decade now, right?
yeah, it's been 9 years. Now,
Yeah,
almost 10. Uh,
right. Yeah. So, and the world looked a little bit different than the last time you were on this show a couple of years back,
yeah,
which, you know, things like, street beefs and, bare knuckle fighting and whatever, those were so taboo, right?
yeah,
And now, Conor McGregor has invested in BKFC. Street beefs every time they, put out a video. Essentially, it goes viral, right? A couple 100,000, if not millions, of views, right? And it spawned so many others, like different, almost street beefs esque, promotions and content, and
yeah,
none more evident than like Dana White's Power Slap, right? So we live in a different world where you fighting, and competing is more reality than it ever has been before.
yeah. The boy has grown a lot over the 9 years. I've been working my eye off for 9 years. So, yeah, so, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, first off, so for the people that don't know about your particular condition, could you give us
Yeah,
any light
no,
into it?
no problem. I have difficulty with for me, my beach is at the bit of the sea. I use a wallet. I'm able to walk, but I use a wheelchair most of the time. But I am able to
Yeah, and I mean, and that's the thing, right? It's empowerment through sports, right? So, you know, obviously cerebral palsy, for what I know, right, is kind of a muscular dystrophy. You know,
yeah, the
not
the
quite, but
the
attacks of
way
muscles and nerves, right?
the way my sleepy was, my brain does not connect to my muscles. It's very hard for me to then my brain message to my muscles to move. Yeah,
Right. So and it's crazy, right? Because in terms of what you are doing, right, physically,
yeah,
right, you're almost basically I wouldn't say turning back the clock, right? But a lot of the things that might, if you weren't as active as you are as
yeah,
an athlete, right? Um, Maybe some of the aspects of your cerebral palsy might have taken a deeper, kind
yeah,
of toll on
yeah.
your body.
Yeah, all of my life I've been active. most of my life. I never not been outdoors. Yeah. So I've been lucky to be able to do what I do.
Right. Absolutely. So, I mean, let's take it to the beginning, right? So you have this condition, right? But there's something in you, right, that you want to compete physically, right?
Yeah.
So take us through this journey that you end up kind of here. So did you want to start boxing first? Was it another sport that kind of took your fancy?
I've been, I've been all my life. I've never not been athlete. I've been a big football player. I've been a hockey player. I've been most of my life. I've been athlete. I never not been athlete. I've been working out for 28 years. So all my life began. I've been working out. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, would you get let down, right? Because I mean, as it's a human condition, right? When things
Yeah.
don't go your way, right? We tend to get a bit down on ourselves, right? So
And,
the the fact that you couldn't compete the way that you saw fit, what did that do for your psyche?
um, no, everybody said no to me. I tried to join able boxing, but nobody would say yes to me because
Ba,
I
ba, 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 ba,
have
ba, ba.
zero proportion. Um, though I made my own way up to my own portion, uh, now I'm on my own but not able by boxing. I have my own um, thing. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, Bill.
Yeah. I'm sorry. My audio was going weird. But yeah, you're kind of dealing with the things that you aren't able to do, but then there comes a bit of strength, right? Or you're just like, okay, well, I can't do A, B, and C, but I still want to compete, right? I still want
Yeah,
to do something. So what journey did you go that kind of led you to where you are now? Was it like you saw maybe a traditional boxing or martial art and you're like maybe that, or I
uh,
know for me the
the
first time that I
one,
really oh, go for
yeah,
it.
the one person I admire was always Mike Tyson and Muhammad Ali. I was there every my cousin forever. I, um, he was before I was born, but I saw most of his friends growing up. So he was a big part of my desire to box. Yeah, yeah, so, yeah, so, yeah. Yeah, yeah. you.
Yeah. No, that I mean, and it's incredible. It's an incredible bit of self exploration, right? Where you're like, okay, this is not what I, you
Mm,
know, these are the things that I can't do, but here's where I'm at, right? So, you see all of these things that you're influenced by, and you're like, hey, let me do that. I know for
mm,
me, right? Beyond like maybe the Special Olympics, right? The first
mm.
time that I'd ever heard of para athletes of any ilk was the documentary Murder Ball about
Oh,
wheelchair rugby, and I was just
I,
like,
that was my favorite movie. That was my favorite documentary. I was young, but I saw that and I wanted to do it. That rugby, but Boston.
yeah, I mean that's literally it. Oh man, what's good, party people? Going over on Twitch. What's up, Dave? I know exactly who you are, man, and your TikTok videos with the kids, amazing. We're gonna give you a shout out here, but yeah, the murder ball, and for the community that were in, what did that do for you? What did murder ball do?
Um, it made me work for my eyeballs. I knew everything about the ball. Um, I, I don't know how to give up. I don't know how to not do something. That's who I am. I don't know not to do it. Yeah, the,
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Of course, that's a good brethren. But no, I mean, for me, right? I not to say, I mean, that's something that us people do, right?
yeah,
You're like, oh, anybody that has a disadvantage, you kind of feel sorrowful or
yeah,
pity, even, right? And that was the first kind of like depiction of strength that I saw. Right? I think I was maybe late teens, early 20s when I saw that,
maybe,
and I was just like,
yeah,
whoa, whoa, like a couple of those guys could
yeah,
beat the ever living tar out of me, and
uh,
like just in terms of, yeah, exactly, viral, and I was just like, oh damn, like, and
yeah,
it really changed it because growing up here in America, you know, I am of an age where I remember pre, like the American disabilities,
mm,
before everything had to be accessible and whatever. And I know certain je ne sais quoi, right? It almost looks like, oh, you're deficient because you can't do the things
oh,
that
I'm
able-bodied people
really,
do and what have you. And then
yeah,
I was like, no, man, like
mm, mm,
it's real in the field. Like we're all equal. And I actually felt as like, somebody that had full, range of motion and all my limbs.
yeah,
I felt like I was deficient in something,
yeah.
you know?
Most, most people look down on people like me, but I never look down on myself because I'm not weak, I'm not dumb, I'm normal, I'm,
Right.
I'm a normal guy who wants to do it.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, facts. So, yeah, I mean, it changed my perspective, right? And, I love the world that we live in where, in terms of equality, he has a place, right? And that's it, you know. So what you're about to do in Poland, you know, it's crazy, right? Because I almost think like, Jimi Hendrix was here in the States, right, and he had to, station overseas to be appreciated,
Yep.
right? Um, Robbie Robertson of the band, right? Great Canadian, right? First Nations.
Yeah.
Um, like how he went down to the Mississippi Delta and spent time with Levon Helm's family, and it was like, man, there's so many stories coming at me, right? Like
Uh,
I don't think I'm
yeah.
just gonna decide
There's
a song
so much.
guitar player, to make it all work, right?
Yeah.
So you know now you're in this tapestry where like you're able to compete and not just like, oh, I have this crazy idea, I want to
Mm.
box, I want to be a pair athlete,
It
just beyond
did.
the 4 years that the Special Olympics happen.
Yeah.
And guess what? Even if I wanted to compete in the Special Olympics, this is my sport, and I'm not represented here, right? So
Uh,
you have to
yeah.
go
Yeah.
less travel and go knock, I mean, the proverbial knock on doors and make people aware of not only the athlete, but you're a representative of the sport in which you compete.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I'm the first ever person from Canada to ever go over the Europe to do it. I will be the first ever in history that a picture. Yeah, yeah, that's a big deal for me. Do. I will be the first ever in Canada to do
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, what was some of the hardships, right, that you faced? Like, I mean, come on, let's go.
it.
We got some time, brother.
And me, nobody does this was possible. Everybody still no, it's not possible. It's not possible. I'm I'm doing this. It will never work. Yeah, I have about 9 years of people they know to me. I heard it all. It's,
Yeah. And then, so, you've got that, right? And
uh,
then now, right, you need to find other like-minded folk that not only want
yeah,
to compete because you have this in your heart to want to do, you can see the vision, but then now you need competitors, right? You can't
yeah,
be, you know. So, and then not just that. Well, now it's almost like what the UFC had to go through in the early '90s, right? Now you have
yeah,
to get rules and regulations and legislation, right,
yeah,
to get this all working, so it could be a viable sport, for eons to come, right? And then the talent, right? Like
yeah,
not just we're not sideshow. No, 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 no. I've trained, and you've trained with some of the best, right? Your opponent, the footage that I
I
found on it,
dream with people.
yeah,
I dream with people. Able fighting. I dream with real people in the book like MMA or boxing. I dream with actual real people. Yeah,
yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing where it's almost that adage of just not for the job that you have, but the job that you want, right?
yeah,
Um, but also, if you want to be taken seriously, you got to be serious about it, right? So you can only do the best. And but the thing about it is, it's a pretty penny when you're going for the best, right?
yeah,
Best trainers, you're
but
eating like an athlete and whatever, and that's where things like sponsorships and everything and
yeah,
come through. And
uh,
also, so those people, they take ownership in your training, right?
yeah,
Because now they're invested financially, emotionally, everything. They're just as invested as you are,
yeah,
and they want to see you do well and the
yeah,
sport flourish.
yeah. Over the years, I've been paying my own pocket. It's a lot of money to do what I do at a high level. Most people cannot do what I do because it's too much money and it's not possible for them only because of money, not the until money. Yeah,
Yeah, no, absolutely. And shout out to those folks that saw. Sometimes it takes that in itself, right, to sponsor something that is what most people feel are uncouth, right,
yeah,
or people don't see the vision of, and then you're like, no, like, no, I'm putting where my money where my mouth is, right, but you know some in some circles, it's almost frowned upon, right? So
yeah,
those folks, are so crucial, so crucial to the proliferation of the sport and the athletes. I was just at Sparsar MMA at Commerce Casino here in California, and like for amateur fighters, right? Amateur fighters, they're fighting, but they still got to do medicals, they still got to eat right, prepare right, you already know.
yeah,
So you know to have a place on a fight banner or a fight shirt or whatever, it means everything. And also, you know most people are like, oh man, what is that logo, what is that, oh, and it gets you to have the conversation, right? Word of
yeah,
mouth, they might see a shirt, or I know that that company that sponsors you, but why are they sponsoring you? Oh, because I'm a peer athlete.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and it's a conversation that happens organically that wouldn't happen otherwise.
Yeah, I'm a part of the thing, and, and I'm a part of a group, um, and so Penny Popping is a program up here for the need people that but I'm a group and help them bring other people, and I've been a part of the team for 3 years. And I love what I do. It's way of helping other people. This is not all about me. This is bigger than me. Yeah,
I love it. Yeah, a cool logo, a great slogan, and again, you've been on their team and they've been on yours, you know, for 3 years. That, and I mean, let's be real, the world is in the last 3 years have been a crazy, crazy place, right?
it's
So to
been,
have, you know, basically a reciprocation of love, right?
yeah,
It's, and understanding. That's all one could ask for, right?
yeah. It's a group effort. It's not about me. It's the overall idea of what I'm doing. Again, it's not all about me. This is bigger than me. This is an idea of what I'm doing. Yeah, so this is bigger than me.
That's
Yeah,
absolutely lovely. Absolutely lovely. Shout out to them. So, I mean, let's talk about it, man. Like, first off, how long you were going for 10 years, but I mean, actively trying to pursue a fight, right? So you have this kind of nuanced set of battles, right?
yeah,
First off, you're trying to tell people, hey, this is a sport, right? I'm an athlete.
yeah,
This is a support. This is a sport that I compete in, and if you don't know, let me show you. One. Now the other, like now you've brought the people in. You've got the attention.
yeah,
Now you need a fight, right?
yeah,
Because all of it goes right out the window if you don't have a fight, right? If nothing
yeah.
materializes, right? So
That's why I'm going to poem. That's why now I do have a faith. I do have a faith. I'm going to be doing what I've been working for 9 years. This moment is the biggest moment of my life. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, bro. So, but now all of that, all of the hard work, all of the like the anticipation and everything,
yeah.
it's here. What is it? December 13th?
I don't know. Lit. It's lit.
Yeah, forgive me. I'm horrible with numbers.
Yeah.
So
Very fun.
yeah, absolutely. So
Yeah.
how do you? I mean, how do you find out about this fight? Does the promotion reach out to you? You reach out to them?
I know, I know that for a while. I've been playing about what they do. I've been playing for years. They have been working over there big time. They are doing what I want to do up here, but nobody is up here. It's all over there. Yeah, I'm the only one up here doing what I'm doing, but everybody else is in Europe and doing, yeah.
Yeah, but that again, you know, that's wild. Now, one of the other things that I wanted to ask you is obviously, you're seeing, we kind of talked about like, there's Paraslap, there's, we see all of the viral videos, and I've shared a ton of them of like, night, like medieval MMA, and like a big guy versus three gals and whatever, like all of these, I mean, seemingly nutty things, right? But out of it, it has to come something, right? I mean, you
Yeah.
know, Art Davie talks about, and Campbell McLaren, they talk about like the first incarnation of the UFC, right? They literally wanted to have like sharks in a moat surrounding the octagon, right? Right. So like we had to, we had to get all of those things
Yeah.
to happen to get to where UFC is a part of TKO along with the WWE, and it's a multi-billion-dollar property, right?
Mhm.
So what, like, are you seeing all of these things in the weeds, right? These
Um,
niche fringe things, and going like, hey, if people are watching this and look at the numbers, right, on socials for a power slap or a BKFC or street beefs and whatever, all of these kind of unregulated, kind of
yeah,
counterculture things, right?
yes,
You're like,
yeah,
maybe, just maybe, that train is coming to the station and paraboxing is going to be at the forefront of some of these discussions.
um, yeah, mm, they figure now happened before, but people need mm, people need uh, mm, mm,
Oh, go ahead, bro. That's it. Got to wet the whistle.
uh,
What you were
yeah,
saying?
people need to yeah, do what we do. Not a lot of people know about my book. They, they never seen people like me do. They have never seen that people didn't do, do that. But it was a big one. But they, they did do that bigger. The moment will help. The moment will help a lot. They don't want to see people and like me want to do what I do. It will get bigger.
Yeah, no, 100%. So yeah, and it's crazy. Like, we're as we're filming this, right? We just had a big fight weekend, right? So on Netflix,
Look
right?
at
Like the
them.
first big live stream sporting event, we had Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson, right?
Yeah,
And even more so, right? Amanda Serrano versus Kate Taylor, right? Which to me was the fight of the night. But you know, there are people still, even with the advent of Lil Ali has been retired. Muhammad Ali's daughter
yeah,
has been retired for about a decade, right? If not more
Jacob.
so. Right, we've in the UFC we've had Chris Cyborg and Ronda Rousey, Misha Tate, a litany of other gals. There's four, famously Dana White says there would never be women in the UFC. I believe in
Yeah,
2010, right?
yeah.
And now there's four divisions, right? With some of the biggest, paying houses and pay per
The-
views of all time, right? So, but there are still people that do not, they don't want to see, females fight, right? Even though
um,
it's equally matched and what have you. We saw
yeah,
the, Amanda Serrano cut, right? And people
yeah,
are a bit squeamish, right? So, you know, there are probably detractors, right? That, yeah, and you kind of spoke
yeah,
of
yeah. Um,
that.
people do not want, people do not want to see people like me in and they look down on that because people like me want to put in event. We do it. We do it. It's normal. Fucking in. We do it. The nature of the book. We, but people do not want to see people like me and not and it will get better. But again, people need to hear people they have an idea of it. they want to see it. They may like it, may not, but I hope they like it.
See, but here, and maybe this is just me because I'm you much like you. I'm a fight guy, right? So maybe you are me, right? Maybe I'm living vicariously through you, right?
Mm,
Oh, and your opponent's, contingent are living vicariously through him as well, right? Well, maybe it's something that mm, I clock in and clock out of work every day, right? But there's a competitive fire, right? That burns, right? But sometimes you let it burn out, right? Because you don't know how to parlay that into something good, right? Or you might use your fight acumen in a different way to get
yeah,
yourself a promotion and get yourself a raise or whatever, right? Like that is it, right? But that's a proverbial sense, right? What
yeah,
you're doing is a literal fight, right?
mm,
But yes, it is a fight. But again, as you were talking about, you've trained. You signed on the
mm,
dotted line. You know exactly what you are getting into, right? Nobody's
mm,
forcing your hand, right? Nobody's twisting your arm
mm.
to do this.
I
This is
want,
something that,
I want to get
hey, Tiger, come on. We got the fight. If you're going to get a punch in the face, make it for the big bucks.
I want to get everything. That's what I want. I want to be able to use I get hit in the head. That's what I want. People do not know how people in me don't want to do. They, they, they see people in me in the house all day. We do nothing all day. But I'm not like that. I grow up. I run. And I work out. That's what I do. But that's me. Yeah.
That's amazing, man. I like you motivate the heck out of me right now. Like again, and I like it makes me want to cry. It makes me want to cry because I know how hard you've worked at this, right?
Yeah.
And you get, one can only hope, right, to be able to, you know, go see different parts of the world,
Yeah.
right, on their art, on
It's,
their skill.
it's valuable. It's
Yeah,
valuable.
yeah, and you're getting to go to Poland and like not like in the middle of winter where Polish winters they say that it has all of the charm, right? Exactly. And you're from Canada and you're like, oh, Poland. Yeah, I mean, what can you do, and shout out to Poland, right? Shout out to Poland for having this amazing event. Now, one thing I want to ask, right? So obviously, we just kind of brushed on how cool it is compared to where I am in Southern California and where you are in Canada, right? In the eastern parts of Canada, right? So, and then also there's a bit of a time difference, right? So,
Yeah.
have you done? What is the preparation that you've gone through to mitigate both the cold and the time difference?
I've been working for about 3 weeks now, a month. I've been working out, eating, um, I've been working with my trainer, yeah, so I'm used to the goal. I'm able to handle the goal. I'm up here. It's good now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Heck yeah. Now, in terms of your corner folk, right? Are you allowed to take corners with you? You know, 1 to 2.
I am. I have two people going with me. My party close. She's a two-time national party champion. Able boy champion. She will be my main grandmom or woman. Um, I have my brother going with me. He paid for it. He helped me pay for it. Without him, I would not be able to pay for what I'm doing. My brother, yeah,
That's incredible, though. I mean, this is for anybody that thinks, oh, this is just kind of like a weird, kind of sideshow thing, right? This is legit. And I mean, the UFC at times, right? If you're lower on the card, you know, maybe the your trainer or your corner person, they might have to pay their own way, or
yeah,
and hopefully you might even have a teammate, right? So maybe the coach in the corner flying on the teammate's dime, but you get to use them because they're there,
yeah. We
right?
are, we are doing that. My brother is paying for me. Without him, I would not be able to pay because I'm disabled and I, um, I don't get money to do what I do. So I need help. My people around me. Um, I I'm happy I have the team around me that I do now because um in 9 years people use me and abuse me for money, my name, um, yeah, people use me for what I do. Now I have the right people around me. Now I'm on the right track to do what I'm doing. So, yeah.
Brother. I'm tearing up here because I mean, again, the last time that we talked, and you guys can find it in the According to Woods archives.
Yeah,
But you were trying to get this thing off the ground,
yeah,
right? Like,
people abuse me for 9 years. They try to make money out of this idea I have. People try to make money of my name. Now I have my 3 years, my brother, my mom and dad around me, and I'm happy I have the right people now around me. Them people who know who you are, and I'm now doing this on my own without
but brother, you are a champion in my eyes. Like that's, oh man,
you.
it like the magnitude, right? Because you were just trying to get your sport, legalized and legislated just in your province, and then maybe
yeah,
the rest of the rest of the,
yeah,
your country, moreover, right? And now you get to fight. You're like
and
be treated like an
the
athlete.
first ever. I'm, I'm the first ever father in North America to do what I'm doing now. I'm the only one who travels over to Europe. I'm the first and only one doing what I'm doing now. Yeah,
Man, that's
yeah,
again, you're making history. But like, I love the fact that you get to see the fruits of your labor, right? And again, the fight's still going to happen, but
yeah.
everything that it's taken to get here, right? Just to be able to be on equal footing as other combat sports athletes,
Mm.
right? And not just for you, but like for the sport
Mm.
overall. You always want in
They,
any endeavor that
they
you do,
did
right? You always
not about, they did not about me. They did a whole movement of people. Again, I'm doing what I'm doing, but this is bigger than me. But,
Mhm.
but I'm not only thinking about me. Now that I'm doing this, other people can do it too. Yeah, that's what I hope to do in the future. To help other people do what I'm doing now. Yeah.
I think again, I think it's beautiful. I really do. Um, so, i do you have any predictions on how this is going to go?
And the failure, um, well, the failure, for a minute and a half around, and I hope to not him out. That's my goal. To not him out. And there's never been another in wheelchair person ever. I will be maybe uh,
All right, on, right on. Okay, I feel the bravado going on. You can puff your chest a little bit, but for me, it's pro wrestling 101, right? Like, you know, for you to fight somebody, right? Exactly. Here you go. So, I mean, you can't necessarily talk down the opponent, right? Because if you beat the opponent and you talk down to him, who did you really beat, right?
yeah,
But I mean,
yeah,
the footage that is out there on your opponent, man, he's a
yeah.
tough cookie, isn't he?
He is bigger than me. He's a lot long. He's, I'm bigger muscle-wise, but he's bigger size-wise. But he would be hard for me, but I'm never for him. I know that is a regular. Hope to do what I've been doing for 9 years. One moment in 9 years. This is my time to do what I do.
Yeah, there you go, man. And nobody can take away from the path that you've been on thus far, and that's like I said, you're even before you step into the ring, like you're a champion in my eyes. So that's it's incredible. Now, as you're training, right? Obviously, there's food. I mean, I know Canada is famous for their poutine, right?
Yeah.
Amongst other things, right?
I'm not eating poutine.
Really?
I, I'm in pain now. I've been eating what I've been eating, but I'm not eating bad food. I'm eating healthy. Um,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. Now, I mean,
I'm
which
not being,
by the way, right? For those who are not initiated in the fine culinary art that is poutine, right?
uh,
Uh, what is the
uh,
Professor Charles Wilton poutine order? Because I've seen cheese curds, I've
ooh,
seen different things, whatever. So school
I,
us.
I get everything. I'm, I put everything on my machine. I have put hot salad, I put gravy, I put everything.
Everything and the kitchen sink. Oh man, yeah, man.
Then when
I've seen.
I go home, I will eat. No, but when I go back, I will eat cookies.
You know what? I almost feel like at your local spot, you deserve that poutine order to be named the professor because it's so immaculately like.
No, I know that better.
I feel like that's right. You know, right? The professor poutine. I'm just saying,
I won't
right?
be nice.
So, um, for those who don't know, or obviously the fight you were saying that it's going to be streamed on Facebook as well as their pay-per-view channels over there in Poland. Yes.
It will be live on the stream, but um, it will be live on board TV. It will be the main button down on the news. Yeah, no, this is not a movie. This is a big deal over there. Yeah.
Excellent. I mean, I'm definitely going to be tuning in now.
The link. I will put the link in the news.
In
I
the link,
will,
yeah.
I will be, I will put the link to what, if I will this, I will put the link in other. Yeah.
All right. Sounds like a plan. And I'll even link it right here in the description of the video, wherever you are watching this. So, how about that? Um, Now, obviously, Charles, right? In this arduous path, now it's coming into fruition. The way you envisioned the sport, a decade or so ago, right? Now it's coming to fruition, and you are at the forefront of it.
Yeah.
You are the face of paraboxing in your country, right?
Yeah.
So, which is
Yeah.
wild. But again, couldn't have happened to a better person, right? But there
But
have been a lot of people who have been in your proverbial and literal corner to
yeah.
get this thing to happen, right? So, good brother, take as long as you like. Let's get some shout outs out of the way.
Um I would do that my group the Villa group and my main three my brother Wade um he helping me people without him, I would not be able to go over. I'm, I'm really happy about that. And, the and uh, my active on my team, he know who you are, and I know much, but not the last one. Even though I will be the first, but not the last one.
Oh
Yeah,
man, thank you, brother. Thank you. And a big shout out goes out to our good friend Everett Osmer, who hooked us up many moons ago. Everett, a
yeah,
huge combat sports fan, right? From anything in a ring, much like me, anything in a ring. You call it MMA, you call it Muay Thai, you call it boxing, you call it paraboxing, you can whatever. He is an ardent fan. He's the one who hooked both of us up. So shout out to Everett. Everett is the MVP. He's probably rooting on his uh, his Crimson Alabama college because he loves it. So shout out to them, the Crimson Tide. Which is kind of fun, right? Because come come the dragon fight, we're gonna see a lot of fisticuffs, man. There are proverbial Crimson
I
Tide, and yeah, yeah. So also, for those who haven't already done so, good sir, to follow your path as you head into the ring there in
I will
Poland.
be doing and
Yeah,
people. I will this. I will put the ring to my bed. I'm I'm on everything. Do promotion. Um, I'm on everything. So I believe I will put the to my business.
there it is. There it is. And I'll be linking all of these, I mean, everywhere. So much like you, I learned from you the last time we talked, so I'm on everything as well. But wherever you find his social media, you will find this very podcast. So, yeah, there you go. We made it easy. Which, by the way, right, before we get all into this like punchy stuff, right, because you're going to be fully prepped in getting into Poland and fighting your fight. But has anybody actually acknowledged the fact that you might look like Dana Carvey?
No, I've never heard
You've
of
never heard that at all.
that.
Like you may favor Garth from Wayne's
Uh,
World.
um,
You've got prettier eyes, though. There you go. You've got
uh,
prettier eyes. And I'm just saying, I was like,
uh,
I had to,
I
I had to
never
stop
heard
myself.
that.
Yeah,
Never
I had to stop
heard.
myself. Party time excellence.
Uh,
Swear up, swear up. Oh man. But again, Charles, I can't put into words, how proud of you I am because again, for it's talking
I
about a
I know you for um, I know
I
you
know you,
for I know
but
you for a while.
in many ways, right? The ring, it's a foregone conclusion, right? But like right now, you are a champion and you've championed this sport and you spoke this and willed this into fruition, and now you get to compete on one of the biggest stages that
The
Poland and the world has to offer.
no more, no more, Nobody's doing a poem, but it's the biggest part of nobody in the world is doing what poem is doing over there. I'm happy they are going to put what they are doing is the best in the world. Of what they do, the best in the world. Nobody do the better than them.
I love it. I love it. So again, go ahead and follow the Professor Charles Wilton on his way to the fight in
The
Poland.
world championship is the
Absolutely.
world championship.
Heck yeah. And also, I mean, if you're into the following and subscribing thing, I warmly encourage you to subscribe to the According to Woods podcast on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. And then there's also dumb shit memes on the gram of instant gratification. But on much like Charles the Professor Wilton, I'm on everything too. So follow and subscribe to him, and also maybe this guy too, right? Where we do this stuff all the bloody time. Uh, and I've got some fun stuff, from Smart Start MMA this past Saturday to put on the social media feed. So that'll be fun. But again, this is his time to shine. Thank you so much, Professor. Class is in session. We are out. You guys, love you. Bye bye.
Hey, this is Zeta Zhang. Make sure you subscribe to According to Woods YouTube.